It's a beautiful day outside and the perfect time for a burger, so I thought I'd make a double cheese beef burger. This is a single patty burger. You're more than welcome to add a double if you'd like to. And the flavor and the smokiness in there is absolutely incredible. The sauce is amazing too. It's just a beautiful blend of flavors. Let's jump straight in. Now, because we're in the garden, we're using this beautiful beast here, the big green egg. Of course, you can use gas or even in a pan, doing it inside. That choice is all yours. We do need to fill this up with some charcoal, get it nice and hot. Have some oak and hickory lump charcoal right here, so we'll just go and add this in. We don't need to add too much charcoal in there. We want to fill it about halfway, and if you have any leftover coals from previous cooks, just make sure they are still intact and not complete ash. If that is the case, you might need to clean it out. Add in your fire lighters. I like to use roughly 3, spreading them in all areas of that barbecue. And if you have another way to do this, go for it. That choice is all yours. Then just use a blowtorch and start getting these nice and hot and on fire. It is also a good thing to mention that we want to leave the lid open and any vents that are at the bottom completely open as well. That way oxygen can go in and go through the fire, building it up. We'll probably do this for about 12 minutes. Now into a bowl, add half a cup of mayonnaise. This is just regular mayo. You can use light if you wanted to. 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup. 2.5 teaspoons of American mustard, also known as yellow mustard. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. 1 teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder. Added 1/4 of a grated onion. All I've done with this is just sliced it into quarters, taken off both ends and then peeled it. Run this along the larger side of a box grater to create those nice big pieces. And you get the most flavor out of grating the onion. It's just gonna create an intense flavor within our sauce. Also, if you have any scraps, you can just chop these up with a knife. And you don't have to do this on a grater either. You can just chop the whole onion up with the knife as well. Along with that, add in 1 large slice of dill pickle. With this, I've just sliced it into strips the whole way across to try and be as consistent as possible. Rotate it 90 degrees and then dice it into small, fine pieces. It is okay to add a little bit of the pickle juice as well if there is a little bit left over, and I do have a homemade recipe for these, which I'll leave in the description. Squeeze in the juice of 1/4 of a lemon. All I've done is taken a little strip off the side of a lemon, and you can save the rest for another dish. And of course, season to taste with salt and cracked black pepper. 10 cracks worth. Mix this all together, make sure all of those flavors have become friends. You'll have a really nice tangy, smoky sauce. It goes perfect on a burger. And what you're looking for is something that looks like this, which we'll then place in the fridge until we're ready to serve. At this point, we have a really nice fire blazing. Those coals are really lit up, and this is exactly where we want it to be. Add in the grill plate. Let's then close the lid. And as you can see, this needle is going to start going up quite quickly from the temperature that's in there. We're looking for something around 220 to 250. And we're going to use the valves on top, just opening it slightly just to lower that temperature. Now for the beef patty, I'm using 18% fat. The higher the fat content, the better the flavor because the fat renders out and increases that. Obviously you can use a lower fat, but it will be a lot drier. Also, for the purpose of this video, I am only cooking 1. That way I don't have any food going to waste. With the beef patty, all we're going to do is just mix it around in our hands. This one weighs 180 grams. You can make them smaller, you can make them bigger, you can do double patties. That choice is all yours. We're only going to hit it up with salt and pepper in this one. We're not doing anything too fancy. Of course, use your favorite rubs, your favorite seasonings. That choice is all yours. This burger is also going to be a thicker patty. It's not smashed or anything like that. So I'm just going to mold it out. Try go a little bit bigger than the bun that you have. That way when it cooks, the fat will render out and these will shrink a little bit, so it will be perfect size. The bun I'm using is a nice brioche. Just go through and slice this open. For a filling, we'll also slice some tomato. I've just got a nice heirloom tomato here. Just feel like they have a really nice beefy taste to them and they go really nice in a burger. Carefully open up the egg. Get the patty on the grill. Close up the lid. We're going to sear this for about 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, just carefully open that lid. Let's then flip that burger over. Shut the lid and sear for 2 minutes. At this point, open that lid up again. Add on a cheese of choice. I'm using a couple of slices of Monterey Jack. Close up the lid and then cook this for a final 1 minute. So now after that 1 final minute, we can just carefully open up the lid. That cheese has melted really nicely. Just carefully scoop it off and then place it onto a tray. At this point, we can also add in our burger buns and just toast them to your liking. I also don't recommend shutting the lid here just because these can burn quite quickly because they do have quite a bit of butter in them. Once they're toasted to your liking, remove them from the barbecue. Shut the lid and then close the valves. This is going to allow this barbecue to cool down naturally. Spread that sauce that we made at the beginning all over those buns. Give it a nice generous helping. Do it on both top and bottom. Add on a piece of washed lettuce. 1 or 2 slices of tomato. This one's quite big, so I'm just going to use the 1. And I always recommend just hitting that tomato up with a little bit of sea salt flakes. Just brings out the best flavor. Place on that cheesed up patty. If you like pickles, add that on too. The last thing to do is place that top bun over the top. Push it down lightly so that sauce can spread over the patty. And right there is our beautiful cheeseburger. This looks incredible and it smells amazing too. Just before we get stuck in, let's slice it open and see how well we did. And what we have in the inside, that looks absolutely delicious. As always, we can then dig in. Honestly, that's one of the best burgers I've had in a very long time. The flavor in the patty is just that intense smoky flavor. It's really delicious. Beef is juicy. The cheese melts over the top really nicely. Then you finish it off with that smoky sauce as well. It is an incredible blend of flavors. Definitely try this for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, leave a comment for the algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't already. All of it helps me out and it's completely free. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.